What was one of your first memories about cruising back in the day?
First memories. Um, Again, it's, I don't know. It's just, as soon as you start to drive, you would come down here on, at night and cruise around. It was just sort of the thing that you did. It wasn't, uh, again, like the movie, it wasn't like it was a special event of anything. It was just a way of life.
So you used to hang out at Foreign Car Service back, because you're one of the E-Courier walls out there.
Right.
And so what was it like being in the Foreign Car Club versus the Classic American Car Club back then? Was there any difference?
There wasn't any difference.
You were all
there
just
wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't. There were car clubs. There were a lot of car clubs. So they didn't. And everybody cruising just cruised. It wasn't like there were clubs and things. The Courier wall was basically for racing. Most of them were all racers, so that they would go and basically form a thing, and they'd help each other at the races. I mean, they didn't have much to do with cruising.
And so one of the things, because of the film, what do you remember when you were growing up? What about the movies in Modesto? Did you remember any particular theaters or growing up, or any milestone films you saw when you were hanging out?
Well, I went to the State and I went to the Covell. I don't think the Covell's there anymore. The Covell was all the Godzilla movies, and the State was all Lawrence of Arabia's. So, every once in a while we go to the movies. I wasn't that into movies in those days.
So how does it make you feel knowing that American Graffiti, when you made the film, I don't know if you knew what kind of impact it was going to have. So now, 40 years later, are you surprised or pleased, or how does it make you feel knowing it had this incredible impact on society, nostalgia, Lenny and Squiggy, the Fonz, I mean, everything?
Well, it's, obviously I didn't expect it to last as long as it has, and I didn't expect, when I made it, the studio wouldn't even release it. They said it was so bad it wasn't fit to show an audience. So they said they might release it on television as a TV movie. So for a year I had to struggle even to get the studio to release it as a film. So I certainly didn't expect it to go anywhere.
Well, awesome. Back when you were making the movie, since we are here on 10th Street and 11th Street in downtown Modesto, is there a story that you wish you had told in American Graffiti that you didn't get to tell?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything that I knew. The big events that happened, the races and the police car getting his axle pulled out from under it. Those were like the big things. I mean, there were some things that aren't in the movie that were, at one point somebody went and took a can of gasoline and ran across McHenry Avenue and lit it on fire. And there was sort of a big wall of flames.
That's amazing.
It's completely stopped traffic in all directions.
That's awesome. Well, one last thing before we leave the cruise route here, we'd just like to say, if you wouldn't mind saying, I'm George Lucas and I'm back cruising on the historic cruise route. Would you mind saying that?
Okay.
Right here.
I'm George Lucas and I'm back cruising on the historic cruise route.